Testing, testing. There we go. Okay, we are back into week 4 of CalEsports Intramurals for League of Legends. We have Team Woopers versus Team 100 Hextech Keys. Team Woopers currently 3-0 in the standings, and 100 Hextech Keys, I believe, is 1-2. Coming up, looking at the bans, we have Beanie's Bard being banned away, his Blitzcrank as well, and Zed being banned away for Rock Lee, who did play Akali, and apparently Victor too. First pick for him. Deliri's Lysandra was banned, GeoBuckson's Akali was banned, and Amumu was banned away from Ruler Galaxy's Nick, who is our second resident Amumu one trick. Looking at the bans, respect the Bard ban. I obviously did not respect it enough last week, and my team paid the price for it. Syndra being being picked as the matchup against Victor for Deliri's, or no, that's Rock Lee. Victor being taken for Deliri in this case. Warwick getting picked for Jacob RMD in the jungle, that he is kind of a Warwick one trick. Did play it last week, did went sicko mode on it. And the follow-up pick, I'm assuming it's going to be support AD. I'm assuming top pick is going to be last, or as far into the draft as you can. Jungle being picked in, Volibear, I would assume that could be a flex to Volibear top. We actually don't know yet, but Volibear being locked in for Team Woopers. Let's see, when was the last time Ruler of Galaxies played Volibear? Has played it in the jungle before. I would just assume that's Volibear jungle. I don't think they would be comfortable blind picking top, especially when there's so much pressure on Chris GeoBuckson to carry these games for his team. Seraphine being locked in, that's likely just Toad Waltz on Seraphine. Nice meatball Volibear in the front with a Seraphine shielding and using her ult through that Volibear. Renekton being picked, that's kind of an early jungle pick, or top lane pick for 100 Hextech Keys. They don't know if this Volibear is top or jungle yet. Maybe they got baited and just assumed the Volibear was top. Kind of weird in my opinion to pick there. Would have been better to lock in a support or AD. How does play mages in the bot lane, so maybe they wanted to hide the fact that they're playing a mage bot. That could be it. Set being banned away or hovered from GeoBucksson. I believe he's played it in he's played it in 2 games so far, and his most recent game was Mbessa, so maybe they'll ban Mbessa next. Ban for Team Woopers here. Let's see, they still have AD and support, so I would assume they're going to start banning away some of these mage bot laners, some of these ADCs that Hal likes to play. Beanie's also there as well, so Pyke's, yeah, focusing the Masters support player does make more sense, I suppose. So Pyke being banned away, trying to protect your Iron ADC for Team Woopers here. The follow-up ban, I'm assuming it's just going to be a top lane Mbessa ban. They could technically ban ADC, but I don't think you're going to ban out. Yeah. Alawi being hovered. Not sure I've seen the last time Alawi was picked by Chris in the top lane. Let's see, but he does have a decent amount of mastery points on it. Second most mastery points is on Alawi, but he hasn't been playing it recently, like at all. So questionable ban. I think I would have preferred a Garen ban or maybe an Mbessa ban, but Alawi being the preferred ban for Team 100 Hextech Keys here. Thresh, another ban for Team Woopers being focused. Nope, changing it to Nautilus. So 4 supports being banned away from Beanie. They're obviously respecting Beanie a lot more than my team did last week. Good on Team Woopers to correctly identify the winning factor for these Team 100 Hextech wins. Red side doing a pick here. I'm assuming this will be their support pick if they're trying to hide the fact that how it's going to play a mage bot. Otherwise, they can just lock in. All right, Thresh being picked for 100 Hextech keys. So yeah, they did leave it open. They were debating whether to ban Thresh or Nautilus. Thresh is that case. And the follow-up for Team 100 Hextech keys, or for Team Woopers, will be, got 13 seconds to decide. This is going to be an ADC likely. ADC top lane. What do we want to see from Geobucks in this game, guys? He's laying up against Renekton. Surely Renekton has some bad matchups. Garen being locked in. Geobucks and classic Garen pick. I wonder how the matchup looks like into Renekton though. So Renekton's worst matchup is Alawi, so that would be why they banned Alawi. Looks pretty even against, if I can actually pull up the counters list. So against Garen, Renekton actually has a positive win rate. So Renekton wins 52% of the time against Garen. So Geobucks not really counterpicking himself, but it's supposedly a rougher matchup for Garen. MF being the pick for Team Woopers ADC, MC345, and then the last pick should be the AD here. Corki being hovered. How does play a lot of Corki. Looks like Corki going to be locked in. So aggressive bot lane for Team 100 Hextech keys here. Mid lane's more of a scaling pick. Both mid laners just kind of want to scale up and get into those late game team fights. But yeah, Warwick is the follow up. Looking at these two comps, lots of synergies for these Team Woopers comp. Volibear, Garen want to run at you. Seraphine wants to stand behind them, support, shield. Victor doesn't mind either direction. MF has a lot of movement speed and can run at or kite as well. Same thing, similar draft with Team 100 Hextech keys. Warwick, Renekton, run at you, flank. Thresh can land a hook, Corki can kite. But yeah, not that much of a difference between how these two teams want to play. I think it's just going to be dependent on who gets ahead early, who plays the mid game rotations better. We'll be interested to see how Beanie plays this game. Is he going to roam a lot like how he did in his week's prior game? He is playing Thresh. I am getting messages in League Client. So they will be getting into draft shortly. But if I were to take a gander on who I think is going to win, I think this team comp looks great for Garen to play into. Garen versus Syndra. Syndra's pretty immobile. Corki does have some self-peel for himself, but they're 3-0 so far. I would continue to bet on Team Woopers to win. With that being said, I'm going to release a Gamba, and then we'll be right back after spectator delay. Okay, we are out of Spectator's delay and in game here. Let's get it all set up. Team names are not correct. I will fix that momentarily. Scoreboard set up. Okay. So level 1 shenanigans. It looks like Team Woopers here. Yeah, actually Team Woopers was already fixed. Look at that. Team Woopers is gonna be just 5 stacking a bush here.
30 seconds until minions spawn.
Okay, yeah, nothing happening in level 1 here. Just a 5 stack. Expecting an invade from Thresh Beanie here, but Syndra not the best champ level 1. I would probably rather have Victor, so just playing it safe, making sure no invade level 1 shenanigans happens here.
Minions have spawned.
Looks like 100 Hextech key gonna push up in this bot lane, get to the first bush, maybe look for some level 1 shenanigans here. MC34 walking up to the wave. Toad Waltz playing it safe. Spotting now Thresh and Icy Dragon there. Nothing's gonna result from it. Panning to this top lane. We do have Lost in the Sauce versus Gearbox and Chris. Doing some nice trades, but Renekton does have some healing in his kit, so should be able to heal up. Doran's Blade versus Doran Shield start for the top lane of these two teams. Lost in the Sauce hits level 2 first, goes for a trade, nicely done. Gets a pretty good lead in HP on the Garen. Garen does have his passive, plus should be the Doran Shield, so he should be able to heal up. Toadwald's forced to flash heal there, nice hook from the Beanie. Pings both of them respectfully, and potentially could look to do a dive. Toadwald is very low HP. Does she have 2 pots or 1 pot taken? He has 1 pot taking, so she will remain low HP. Junglers are pathing in opposite directions, so Warwick is pathing down, Volibear is pathing top. There is a nicely placed ward on Ruler Galaxy's Nyx blue buff, red buff that is gonna blue buff here that's gonna spot him out, so they know exactly where he is. Top lane's wave state is in a good spot for Lost in the Sauce. Is gonna be pushing towards him, so he can play a little bit safe. Garen places a ward down because he doesn't obviously know where Warwick is, but just wants to make sure that he's not gonna get ganked. Goes for a trade, about even on that trade pattern. Panning to this bot lane here, can be hit a hook. That ward's gonna die soon, so he should be able to get some scarcity out in this lane. Sauce playing a little safe, knows that their jungler's topside, playing on the tower. Panning to the mid lane here. Pretty even so far. Syndra versus Victor. They both want to scale. Victor does kind of outrange Syndra a little bit in lane, but if Syndra hits a nice QE, she can do a proper trade back. Another ward placed in that bot bush to stop B from doing any bush shenanigans. Meanwhile, Volibear will be, if I can actually spam to him. Come on. Volibear is in his red side jungle, picking the bot lane here, so he will be making his way there. There is a nice ward in Tribush. Beanie hits a nice hook. Actually, better trade for Team Woopers here. Their jungler here. Meanwhile, on the top lane, first blood happened, and we just missed it. Apologies, Geobooks. I know you like to watch these streams. Volibear bot, forcing Icy Dragon to go all in. Nice lantern from the Thresh to keep Icy Dragon in, pull him into safety there. Sorry, it's been a long day. Brain's not functioning at full power here. Well played from the bot lane of 100 Hextech key. Volibear went for the gank, was not able to find a successful gank, but even despite the gank, Icy Dragon got a kill and was able to be landed for top lane. Kind of curious how the solo bolo happened. In fact, let's get a replay of it. Oh, just missed it. So it looks like Garen is just going to do an all-in trade here. Auto. Fully procs Conqueror, Ignite, Flash, auto kill. Okay, that seems about right. Going back to live. Nothing significant has happened so far. Still 1-1 in the kill feed. Starting to do his roam timers here. Let me turn on objective timers. Looks like grubs are spawning in 3 seconds here, so we have an all-in fight top lane. Renekton forced to ult. Nothing much going to happen because of it. Victor's TPing back mid here. Both supports are bot lane for these grub spawns, so no beanie roam for grubs this time around. Volibear is top. Can he find a successful gank onto this Renekton? He is sitting on a ward, so Renekton does know he's here. Looks like he's just going to go down, start grubs, and be happy with those. Warwick in the bot lane here, farming up. Should probably be starting Dragon, so they trade something 1-for-1. We know Volibear was just top. We know he's probably on grubs. Yeah, he is just going to start this Dragon here. Mid-wave opponent does have a nice little freeze here. Syndra gonna be forced to walk up a little bit, but the wave's gonna get real soon. Do not pull it far enough away from this tower. Alright, looks like we have a trade of objectives here, 1-for-1. Volibear is gonna be farming up. Nothing, no more action gonna happen anytime soon, I believe. Top lane, despite the kill going to Geobucks's Garen, still pretty even lane state. 4 CS difference between the two. Gold-wise, there's only the 300 golds, just a boots difference between them. Can't even get like a short sword. Not that much of a lead for Geobucks so far, but we only are at 7 minutes and 30 seconds into this game. Volibear, meanwhile, invading. Junglers trading top camps for each other, doing a split map here. Can they look to dive Renekton potentially? Renekton's ult just coming off cooldown should provide them some safety here. But if Volibear is level 6 here, he can turn off that tower and they can potentially go for a dive here. No wave yet. If Geobucks can push in that top wave, but yeah, it doesn't look like they'll have a big enough wave to do a comfortable dive, so Volibear is going to roam around, try to check out mid lane here. Pinging the mid lane, Syndra walking back. Meanwhile, Garen taking a pretty bad trade top lane, coming back mid lane, Rock Lee looking a little dead. Volibear ults forward, able to find the kill onto Syndra. Meanwhile, in the top lane, oh wait, jungle not able to get away. That's feats the strength to Team 100 Hextech keys. Meanwhile, in the top lane, we had a solo bolo for the top laner there. Lost in the sauce. Nicely played. Sad we couldn't watch all of it, but it looks like he just hit ult and was able to out-trick Garen. Doesn't look like any action's going to happen anytime soon. Let's get a replay of the Garen kill at least. So, got him decently low. Looks like it's just an all-in trade here from the two laners. Really wants to pan mid lane. Yeah. Boston Sauce gets low, forces the flash, try to follow up. Dash coming back up shortly. Dash, auto kill. Okay, back to live. So that was Feat of Warfare going to Team 100 Hextech Keys. Meanwhile, in the jungle, in a kind of a dangerous spot. Total's doing a nice job of matching these Beanie roams. Knowing where she needs to go, knowing that, hey, he's down the bot lane, I should probably help out my team in the mid lane here where he's likely to roam. Grub spawning in 35 seconds here. I think both teams, Team 100 Hextech, are going to want to fight for this to stop them from getting the objective bonus and as well as 6 grubs as well. So look at these two. Nice trade by Rock Lee against Cleary there. Catching Toad Waltz, forcing her to flash away, still dies to the Syndra ult. Nicely done by Rocky there. Flash forward from the B, trying to get on this volley bear. Warwick here to follow up, ults on to the volley bear. Volley bear ulting over the wall, gets stunned. Can't do enough damage to follow up. 1 HP for this volley bear, barely running away, gets the E shield. Jacob walking a little bit too far up. Demacia down on top of him. Potentially a tower dive. Looks like nothing else is going to happen in that fight. Syndra got a TP back mid here to prevent her from dissipating waves. Nicely done fight for Team 100 Hextech Keys. Should get them the grubs, although their jungler did die, so he cannot actually farm up the grubs. Garen, no ult, no ignite, and that should be safe for lane for a little bit here. Blackfire Torch finished for Delirious in the mid lane. Means his trades just got a whole lot better against this Syndra. Finding another E. Syndra getting a little low there. Looks like does not have her TP. Her wave state, if we can pan to mid lane. The wave state is pushing towards him. We're not quite able to find that kill onto Syndra. Being short up mid just to ensure she stays alive. Looks like Beanie gonna actually freeze the wave here for Syndra, but he's push it, and yeah, it's gonna crash. Volley Bear, meanwhile, takes that dragon. Thresh in a kind of dangerous spot here. Has to be careful about how he runs back to lane. Blue team pinging grubs, wanting to see if anyone's on it. Trade, nope. Grubs are still available. 6 grubs could go towards Team Woopers here. Both mid laners have finished Blackfire Torch, so it should be more even now in that mid lane. Looks like we are going to have a grubs fight. Jacob trying to 1v1 the Volley Bear. His Thresh is here. 4 members for Team 100 Hextech Keys at this fight versus 3 for Team Woopers. Victor TPing mid here. Not going to quite get here in time. Syndra magic him mid lane, gonna give up cryo on this fight. Team 100 Hextech kind of being funneled into a corridor there. Low HP bars, Warwick ulting to heal HP. Still alive, lots of healing for this Team 100 Hextech Keys. Despite the low HP bars, no heal cut for Team Woopers means a lost team fight. Icy Dragon showing up mid here, getting Delirious quite low. Not quite able to follow up and get a kill. Nicely done by Team 100 Hextech Keys. Heal up, win that team fight. Gonna secure themselves 3 grubs, making it 3-3 in the grubs department for each team. Nice hit. Does have his ult up. That no W to follow up. Victor lives with 1 HP. I wonder if the W just wasn't up or if he didn't use it. Could have potentially been a kill there if the W was used onto the Victor. trades here in the top lane. Both of them are pretty tanky. Eclipse finished for Renekton. Item and a half. He's sitting on Boots finish for Garen, preferencing that movement speed. Looks like they're going for an all-in between each player. Garen does have his Ignite and ult up. So Renekton has to be careful of his HP bar here. Garen could potentially dive him here. Looks like he's going to go for it. Renekton ults early to ensure he doesn't live. Garen ult coming down. 1 HP trades. Lost in the Sauce wins the top lane fight. Nicely played by Lost in the Sauce. Solo killing GeoBuxen in the top lane on this Renekton pick. Flash forward for B. Finds the condemn, or the hook into his ulti there. Able to walk out. Ruler Galaxy showing up mids means he is safe for now. What is the Thrush Hook ability called again? It's not condemn. Why am I forgetting the name? Death Sentence. Close enough, right? Meanwhile, mid lane, Rock Lee trying to get a trade off, does get Victor instead, but gonna be traded. No, Beanie shows up mid, throws the lantern, saves Rock Lee. Jacob ulting it, misses the Warwick ult onto Ruler Galaxies. Nick able to walk away. Dude, Beanie has been on point with these lanterns. Second time he saved a 1 HP player on his teammate. I thought for sure they were dead, but then he just throws out the lantern and the player survives. I'm going to step away from this cast here for just 30 seconds here. Hopefully no serious action happens. I'll be right back to a chat. Back at my computer. Doesn't look like anything happened while I got up. I had to get up and check on my dinner. Meanwhile, not quite what I was expecting from this top lane matchup. I believe Lost in the Sauce is Diamond Peak and GeoBuxen is Masters, but he is kind of a Macaulay one trick, so it makes sense that there's a slight performance drop from this off champion onto one of his secondary champs. Game state looking pretty good for Team 100 Hextech Keys. Can they be the one to put the nail in the coffin for Team Woopers' 3-0 streak? Funny situation happening top lane here. Both top laners kind of just ignoring each other and farming the waves. Does Garen not want to fight Renekton, or does Renekton not want to fight Garen? Don't quite know. Icy Dragon pushed pretty far up in this bot lane here. But we'll be able to just jump away into the Dragon Pit, securing Dragon for his finds it. Seraphine ult, looks like they were trying to do something there, but not quite able to land the abilities for Team Woopers here. I believe Feat of Strength was just picked up. Yep, that dragon. Oh no, it's picked up a little bit ago actually. 17 minutes, but Team 100 Hextech Keys does claim the Feat of Strength for their team, giving them those upgraded boots. Nice E, nice W from Rock Lee. Looks like we're going to get a 1-to-1 all-in between each laner here. Renekton winning off on this trade. He is... Item-wise, item-wise, Lost in Sauce is a bit ahead. Could explain the win. Again, Renekton does have a 52% win rate against Garen in the top lane, so lane is more favored for Renekton, but GeoBuxen did pick Garen knowing he was leading into a Renekton pick. Alright, our sound bug for everyone else. 3 in the top lane here. Nice E-stun from Toadwall. Lost in Sauce can double hop away. Does Rule of Galaxies want to follow up with a Volibear ulti and dive Lost in Sauce? Looks like Lost in Sauce is going to respect it. Back up a little bit. First tower going to Team 100 Hextech Keys here. Playing in the bot lane. Following it up. Team Woopers is going to claim that top lane tower. Atacon has spawn. Are they starting this on spawn? Yes, they are. So Team 100 Hextech, he's starting up this blood paddle Atacon, which I believe is... I can't remember off the top of my head which Atacon's which, but looks like they will get it uncontested here. Ruler Galaxy is just going to be farming up, trying to trade in the jungle here. Ruin is Atacon claim for Team 100 Hextech keys. This is going to give them more damage, more XP lead. Syndra looking to trade here. Volibear is here, does have his ult. He can turn off the tower. Kind of oversteps. Syndra finds the stun. Nice tower dive from Ruler Galaxies, but is now in an awkward scenario. Warwick gonna ult him down. Thresh Hook gonna follow up. Another kill to Jacob on this Warwick champion, sitting at 4-1. Most kills for his team. Nicely played from him. Thresh Hook gonna find the Seraphine. Hook followed up. 3 in the mid lane here. Lives with 1 HP. Nice rocket from Icy Dragon to finish up that kill. A 4K gold lead now for Team 100 Hextech keys. We only are at 21 minutes into the game, so that is a pretty significant lead for the Kane State. Renekton backing on a ward, gonna get stopped by Garen. Garen just does not win those trades anymore. Does Garen ever win sideline against Renekton past like 22 minutes of their even? Looks like it's so heavily favored for Renekton at this point. That could explain the 52% win rate for Renekton though. 3 Sing in this top lane here. Jetcracker, or sorry, Beanie gonna look for the engage. Garen able to walk it out. We're gonna back in Garen's face, trying to bait him forward. Seraphine here to support Garen, make sure no tower dives do occur. Back's gonna come out, back to the 1v1. Renekton trading against this Garen. Garen trading back, winning the trade more or less. Garen passive gonna heal him back to full HP pretty fast here. Yeah, Garen back to full HP. Renekton ulting, predicting the Garen all in, not quite able to get it timed right. Gonna just clear this wave, needs to run away now. Will be able to back. Dragon spawning in 13 seconds here. Team 100 Hextech keys is going to set up for it. They're first to the river, which means their first ward. Garen going to stop the Renekton back here, preventing him from joining in on this team fight. Lost in the Sauce does have TP, can join at any moment's time, but needs to be careful of the split pushing Garen. Gonna walk up, go for the wave. Garen's gonna run to the dragon fight. Force Renekton to TP. Can Garen find a flank angle? Looks like they're just going to force a mid lane here by attacking this tier 3 tower. Being not going to be able to quite find the play. Neither team starting up this dragon fight here. Syndra pushing in the wave VOD. Should now join her team top lane. Jacob taking a pretty bad trade there, trying to kill the ward. Does have the fruits, is able to heal up a little bit, and he's also playing Warwick, so I'm sure he'll just take a bite out of this dragon and heal a good amount of his HP back. Syndra needs to be looking for some sort of poke, some sort of shenanigans here with her QE here while they're walking in. Playing pretty far back. Can be using her champion. Now staying in control word of the bush. Kind of gatekeeping this entranceway for Team 100 Hextech key to secure the dragon. Garen running back top lane, which does mean they're not going to fight for it. Going to be first to the wave. Not quite soul, but soul point going towards 100 Hextech keys. Is Mountain Soul, which is pretty nice for Syndra, for Icy Dragon. Stop this Garen from 100 zeroing them. Not quite looking for the full-on trade. He needs to be a little bit careful here because he is pretty far up. Volibear picking that he's coming to support him. Potentially they may look to play it on to Renekton here. Warwick hovering will be spotted on that ward by Grubs. Renekton walking up into the bush here. Lure Galaxy pulling the trigger, forces Renekton to ult, and they just disengage. 4 in this top lane for Team Woopers, 3 for Team 100 Hextech Key. Will either team call a fight here? Looks like they're going to spot the two of them in the river doing this scuttle crab. Gonna get the crab and run away. Not quite running away. Gearboxing blind checks the bush here. Renekton does not have ulti. Gearboxing runs up. Beanie flashes in, plays, charm hits just Warwick. Warwick 1 HP living, going all in fight. Victor keeping in the middle of 3, able to survive. Lost in the sauce, getting low, not quite able to die. Icy Dragon flashing forward after Deliri, not quite finding the kill. Seraphine shielding, massive, not enough. Toadwalt's flashing forward, not quite able to get the kill. I believe that, sure that they got at least 1 kill there on Team 100 Hextech Keys. If not, just disastrous for Team Woopers there. Big fight. Rock Lee was not even there. Rock Lee gonna find this full tower. Mid lane, Sauce Dragon gonna die. Looks like we have a game pause here. Headphones died for support. We'll see how long it takes for Toadwalls to fix your headset. Twitch chat, I'm so hungry, man. Can this game just end? I want to go eat. I got a tri-tip that's just being kept warm in the oven. I got some rice that's ready to go. I got some green beans. Man, I just want to go eat, man. Can they unpause and finish this game? Do it for the caster's sake, please. I hunger. Sophia, please fix your headset. No food. I'm starving, man. They're really trying to stall out this game, make it a 40-minute. It's already 10 o'clock. Okay, the game gonna be unpaused here. Getting action again. There is a bit of client bug when game gets paused, so we'll have to deal with it a little bit here. Play will resume. Maybe they fixed it in this client iteration and it'll just be stuck on the screen until we get back in. Alright, back in the game, unpaused. Again, Renekton getting tower damage done on this mid lane tower. Syndra getting a full tower bot lane for not joining that team fight. Despite her not joining, their team did win 45. Now seeing about a 7k goal lead at 27 minutes into the game for Team 100 Hextech. He's here, starting up the Baron. Volibear could potentially get there in time. Looks like we are going to get a pause bug there. Volibear going to run through a ward to get here. Can they zone him off? 4k HP on this Baron, 3k HP, 2k. Goes in. We are going to get a 50-50. How steal gets the Baron for his team. Volibear dying to Syndra. Not quite able to steal. But theoretically possible. Let's get Mima in the bot lane. Garen going to get this tier 3 tower. And other teams are going to push up. Let's get a replay of that, how close it was for Volibear to steal. The team starts it up. 3k HP, 2k HP. Goes in. 1k HP. Looks like that, yeah, I don't think that was stealable. It was pretty close. Would have had to have godlike reactions. Alright, coming back to life here. Team 100 Hextech Key gonna find some towers with their Baron buff. Looks like they picked up a top tower, I would assume. Warwick finding ulti onto MF, just 100 to 0 here there. Meanwhile, the fight going up above her. Deliri getting all in by Beanie. Goes from bad to worse for Team Woopers here. 2 dead, 3 dead for their side. Half defend against this Baron push. But scaling wise, I would not give it in their favor to win this game here. They have not been able to find their team fight where Garen goes in and one-shots How, or Rock Lee and Syndra in this case, yeah. But even if Garen does go in, kills maybe 2 of their members, there's still this 4-1 Renekton, 7-1 Warwick. Jacob doing quite well on this Warwick pick. Second week in a row he's played it, second week in a row he's looked pretty good into it, on it. Should this become a new ban for teams that are going to play it? It's only 2 more weeks, but we're in week 4. There's 1 more week of group stage left. So 1 more week for it to potentially be banned before they move into playoff. Volibear going to ult over the wall, try to steal it, not quite able to find it, trades his life for nothing really for the attempt. Mountain Soul going over to Team 100 Hecka Keys. That should probably just be nailing the coffin for Team Woopers here, unless they manage to stall out and go to mega late game, which would make this caster very sad because he wants to go eat. Geobexon playing in the side lane here, trying to find a tower, get some tower bounty gold, not quite able to get it. Team 100 Hextech Key now sitting at around 11k gold lead. Massive gold diffs for all their players. Closest is the top lane where Geobox is only down like 200 gold, but jungle 3k gold difference, mid lane 2k gold difference, ADC 4k gold difference, support 1k gold difference. Pretty much you can look at just the items between the two opponents. MF Syndra Victor almost the same. Victor not quite having that death cap, but the ADC, there's such a massive discrepancy. 1 item versus 3. Looks like there's going to be another kill. Nice charm from Seraphine, finds 3. Walking back. Nice Victor stun, finds 3 again. Massive CC potential. Where is this MF ulti? Why wasn't it used earlier? Nice MF ulti, finds 3. Low HP bars. Can Deliri clean up this team fight? Syndra living at 1 HP. Thresh lanterns her away. Lost in the sauce, potentially going down here. 600 gold shutdown, waiting for whoever can pick it up. Super low HP bars for both teams now. How getting stunned, Thresh not quite hitting the death sentence. How flashing forward. Kill goes to the MF, not quite able to get a kill. Well played for Team Woopers to find the trade. Despite being 11k gold down, does go for a 2-4-2 there. Could have been a lot better for them if they were able to find the Syndra, if they were able to find Renekton lots of low HP bars. Let's rewatch that fight. So it looks like it started off by their jungler getting caught in the corridor here. Red team now funneling into a choke point here. If MF ulted when Victor got the 3-man stun there, it could have been so big, but still a nice ult from MF. Not quite able to finish any of them, but yeah, low HP bars for all three. Lost in the sauce, barely able to live. Beanie did find a nice lantern there, pulled Syndra to safety. Yeah, okay, that summarizes that fight. Nothing else happens. Let's get that fight. Can Team Woopers get another miracle fight? I think that was the best fight they could potentially get with Team 100 Hextech keys funneling in that choke point for MF ult to hit big. Baron Nash respawning in 43 seconds here. Elder spawning in 2 minutes and 50 seconds. So no dual objectives on the map going to be at the same time. I'm assuming Team 100 Hextech keys just going to start up this Baron buff on spawn. If Team Woopers tries to fight them here, that could just spell game. Garen walking up by himself. Thresh not going to quite hit the death sentence. Does hit the plate. Thresh ult does go down. Lots spent by Thresh there to try to find a pick. Not quite able to get it. But does scare blue side from walking out of the jungle. Delirious back. He does have TP to join the fight. 100 Hextech he doesn't quite want a 50-50 at Baron, but just need to start it here. Volibear pushing up mid lane, trying to get the wave forward. Garen a little far up. Is going to get the 3-man wraparound. Warwick flash ulties, finds it. Dreadcracker hit, or Beanie hits the death sentence, and that's a dead Garen. That should just spell Baron buff for Team 100 Hextech keys. Volibear could potentially go for a steal, but looks like they're going to go for this mid lane tower. Delirious already in the bot wave. Going to try to get some XP there. But yeah, Garen dying spells out Baron buff for 100 Hextech key, which they're already in the driver's seat for this game. Not much Team 1 Woopers could do about it. Syndra going to TP bot here to try to prevent Victor from picking up this tower. Is going to collect that wave to her name. Yeah, Jetcracker really crooking on Thresh this game. Dude, whenever I see a Thresh, I just assume it's Jetcracker, man. My bad. I'm hungry. I want to go eat food. Beanie doing his best Jetcracker impression this game and looking good on it. Okay, we're staying at 35 minutes into this game. Elder Dragon spawning in 20 seconds. Baron buff staying on the two heads. TP is up for Renekton to join this fight. Garen does not have TP, will not be able to join Elder fight, so we'll have to leave a little bit early. There's no way for Renekton to push and get this tower with, so I'm assuming he's just going to follow, or maybe he'll stick around and try to get this tower here. Garen going to be the first roam, potentially a fight timer for Team Woopers here while Renekton is not there. Needs to take a fight before Renekton joins us. But will they be able to find the engage angle? Is going to trade this tower. Garen just going to TP back. I think the Garen just needs to give this tower, and they need to find an engage angle. But instead, Garen going back to match the Renekton. They need to somehow flip this Elder buff for them to catch back up in this game. But Garen matching Renekton means Renekton can TP back to the fight. And Garen will not be able to join them. Renekton now backing. Garen running back to this fight. Renekton keeping kind of away from his team here. Could Team Woopers potentially engage on this Renekton here? Not quite able to find it. Elder getting low, 7k HP. Can Team Woopers 100 active keep going disperse it? Towalt getting death sentence there. Flash happening, all happening. Red team finds the smite. Elder going to 100 hectic CCs. Final fight. Nice MF ult finds 3 into a stud. Low HP bars for both teams. Ice Dragon flashing forward. MC347 getting low, not quite dying. Package forward for Corky. Can he find one more rocket on MC347? 4v2 for this game state right now. Can Team Woopers defend against its Elder Buff? Sentry E finding Deliri. That's just a dead Victor. That should spell game for this first game of Week 4 IMs. Nicely played from Lost in the Sauce, showing that winners can indeed put this Geobuxton guy down a peg. Jacob's Warwick was looking clean for the second week in a row. Syndra also looking good for Rock Lee. Amazing performance from Beanie with these Thresh Lanterns, saving his teammates multiple times, being the engage factor for Team 100 Hextech Keys. Icy Dragon just sitting nice in the back, playing safe behind his 8-1 Renekton, but able to find 6 kills because of it. With that being said, that is the game. We'll quickly look at the damage graphs. I'm not going to interview anyone because I want to go eat. Here, you can see game performance. Yeah, lots of damage in the pocket of Deliri there, but not quite able to find it. Renekton, yeah, Deliri not quite able to carry the game 1v9. Pretty sad damage from the bot lane, but that's to be expected. MC347, I believe, is an Iron player. This volley jungle not quite able to find damage in these team fights, though. Okay, with that being said, thank you guys for watching. I think we have at least one game scheduled for tomorrow. I want to go eat. Catch y'all later. Bye-bye.